Whenever you're ready, bro.
Oh, wow. Ready?
Yeah. Oh, he's saying for the number.
You don't want to give me a number?
I don't do that. We be out.
Well, how can I reach you?
We be out. The same thing you said before.
Okay. Right.
Came through plenty of times. He's over there. I had y'all in my book.
Okay.
Plenty of times we came through. That's what you want to do. Gotta be inside. Gotta be inside.
How much you want? So you're implying that I want to go. That's what you're implying.
That's what it looks like.
How? And I don't live
Because you came around here, brother. It's like you told me about the gun. I didn't even know it. You told me about it. You said, I don't know. It looks like this. I made that with my own hands, bro. Then I see another man wearing it. Then you came and told me about it. So how am I supposed to feel? You said, yo, I will drop it off. And we saw you. We pulled up on you when you was down there. Me and this brother right here. We pulled up on you. I was like, yo, brother, this thing ain't How does that look to us? How does that look to me?
I understand. I got you. I got you. You're right. I see. No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
If I had something that belongs to you, or you told me it belongs to you, and I know that, I'm going to bring it right back to you. Brother, we found this joint, and I know that means something to send a military weapon. I have to return that to you. I gotta do that, man.
Right. So the
The
only thing
man is just wearing it.
he didn't. That, you can't, I'm gonna put that on me. We gonna put that on him because he didn't know it was yours. And he's going now.
You know that. You know that.
I don't.
The truth? Is he out the truth?
Huh? He's telling the truth. He didn't know. He found it on the bus. You left it on the bus. He found it. So he gave it to me as what he did was he gave it to me as a gift.
So he gave it to us.
I didn't know it was yours.
So you saw us over there.
So I think I saw a video.
You saw a video. He said, yeah, I remember you said a video.
That's when I knew it. It wasn't right away. So I saw a video popped up. So the only thing left is to restore this rightful person, which I will do. And
You know what I'm gonna tell you, brother? At the end of the day, just be right.
you're right.
If you teach the word,
You're right.
if you believe in the word, you believe in Yahweh Bashem Hafsah, Bashem Akakadash, just be right, brother. Just be right.
You're right.
That's all I can say.
I accept that.
I'm not right. I'm not
Hey,
right.
Hey, and as righteous
I'm not
brothers,
right.
you gotta
Your word
forgive.
is right.
I'm not perfect at all.
You gotta forgive.
None of
accept
us. None of us.
I accept that.
But
Right.
that's why I just told you. Brother, you know right from wrong. You was raised like that. Let's see that.
That's
No, that brother, look at the brother. Hey, you on there, Salawam, my guy.
God. Hey, they may have heard some of it though. Because it's 4 minutes, so they may have heard some of it.
Oh, come.
So this is what it
When that happens, bro, just hit the drum and bring it back. I just saw her.
got. Alright. I knew he was gonna tell you, hey man, you gotta hit that with your chest. You gotta hit that with your chest, brother.
glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Ramshad, Ba'ashem, Rakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and bishops of the great millstone, to the shoot. Honors and salutations to the elect, to the men that died during the work of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Ramshad, because they shall rise first. To the men, women, and children that believe on the true name of the Father and the Son. The Father's name is Yahweh, he exists. The Son's name is Yahweh Shai, he is the deliverer. As he's coming to deliver us out of this captivity that we're in. That's what we're waiting on, man. You know? We're waiting on, matter of fact, can you grab the come of clouds, Mama Kushan?
Oh yeah.
You know, because that's what the Lord is coming back on. But you look at the actual clouds, but the Lord is coming back on the ship. You know, and they could take, they take, how you say, they could take the nature of everything in the sky, man. That's what Yahweh does, man. He's the creator of everything, of all things. That's why, yo, he told me to fear not. He's the creator of death. And when you sin, that's death, man. That's why motherfuckers are scared to die because you're sinning. And that's just inside of your spirit. Oh, I don't want to do this, but then why? Because you know you're going to die. You're doing that, man. Ezekiel told you that. You know? And that's one thing, a good thing about sending out the scriptures in the day, because a brother got to pick up the Bible every day and read it. With the brother, you always get feedback.
Yeah, because I don't just read it. I actually go and try to understand it. You know, so I don't just do it as something to do, like, oh, he sent me, let me send this real back. No, until I have time to go through some of it, I'm not going to send nothing back until I take the time, because this brother is taking the time to push it out. So what would I be if I just said, oh, let me just say this cute little thing and then push it right? No, I got to take the time to go to it, and that's what the brothers should expect from all brothers, right? He's taking the time to edify the body. Hey, we should take that time to understand what those precepts are. And if I don't do it, then I'm not ready to push anything back out.
Yo, when I read it myself, a lot of time I'm like, God damn.
All right.
I'm like, yo, it's right on time.
All right, right on time. Most of the time, right on time. Like,
I'm
dang.
like, yo, I see it, and it's from him.
All right.
It's not me. Because the reason why I started doing that, because a brother did it, he sent it out, I think, maybe twice. He said, scriptures in the day. Then you got the AI John, and it was like basically scripture or whatever the day, and I'm like, what the? I'm like, spirit probably out of my shit. I should not copy that. And I'm like, yo, you know what? There's so many brothers that reached out and said, yo, wow. Yo, bro, I needed this right now. And that's why you do it. Because you're an organ in the body. You got a body, but we're all organs in the body to make the body fluctuate. You know? I could be a heart, I could be a liver, I could be a vein. I don't know. He's going to come back and tell me where I stand at with him. And he might be like, yo, you're not a part of the body. Guess what? I gotta bite that pill, man. I gotta swallow that, man. You know? As long as he accepts me, that's all that matters. You know? That's all that matters. Because you do things, you don't do things just for yourself. You do things because you're ordained.
Trying to decline this call. I got it.
Oh, snap.
I did it already. I declined it. It's
Cut
good
this
now.
shit off, yeah. I'm gonna cut all that bullshit off. Not disturb.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him.
See that? So when Yahweh Shah come back, the same way that action look like how he came. I mean, when the Lord comes back, everybody look at the clouds and everything. Like, yo, you got ships that's in the clouds, man. When he was here, and the apostles, they looked up. They was like, damn. They was amazed. You go to the Wisdom of Solomon, man. You know? They like, yo, like, these people weren't being derision. And especially in this time because they was taught so many lies, man. That's why they hate us so much. Because we're speaking the truth. You know? We're not lying to you. We're telling you the truth. But when you realize the truth, it might be too late.
Yeah, it's gonna be too late. But that's why they want to stop this word. That's why they put all these laws together, right? That's why they're basically calling everything that we talk about disinformation, misinformation, hate speech, and all other kinds of labels that they want to put on the word of Yahweh Bashim El Shai. You had to ring the alarm for that, huh? Ring the alarm. What the sound of the... Whoa, hey. It says, Revelations 1 and 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they which pierce him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him.
Yo, and then said those that pierced him, meaning that's reincarnation.
God.
You can go to grab Isaiah, I think it's 47:1, if I'm not mistaken. The line right up with that. You know, because yo, when the Lord comes back, yo, when he was a man, he Israelites, they looked at him like a mere mortal, basically. But Yahweh Shah was in so much order, he's like, man, I can't do nothing to these people. Not now. I'm here for a reason. I'm on a mission. I'm gonna teach this person. That's what I'm gonna teach, and that's who's gonna get it. The rest of them, to hell. That's he already knew, man. Like, these niggas never gonna get it. Even right now, like you got the man out there with his children and all that. They're not gonna get it, man. They're in division, and they're enjoying this beautiful day that the Lord made for us, man. The Lord made this. He made this day for us to come out here and teach and speak His word. Even when we out of season, we still come out here, and it's still a beautiful day. You know, like the apostles, they got older, so sometimes when it gets colder, they go into the houses. You know, but as a younger man, you're commanded to be out because they showed you that. Showed you by actions, man. And that's why when the Lord comes back, He's going to show you by His actions. Because He spoke to you. He spoke the truth to His men. And His men started speaking the same thing. Same doctrine. And a lot of people, they just don't believe it. So be it.
Hey, and that's when that's going to be a real beautiful day. Because this is hell. When the Lord, Yahweh Bashim El Shai, Yahweh Shai cracked them clouds open and set this place for destruction, that's going to be a beautiful day. And that's what you're mad about, Esau. And you're not mad at us because we're just messengers. You're mad at Yahweh Bashim El Shai. And we're going to have more beautiful days after that.
One thing the brother got in the house on the platform was Bible and everything, but it says don't quit. Don't quit. That's the message. Like, that's like when you get out the shower, you leave, you look at that, it's like, when you leave, don't quit. Whatever you righteous, don't quit, don't stop what you
Hey, that's powerful that you just said that too, because my video today, right before camp, actually, I just did it in the car while I was waiting, was don't look back. Because that's what's happening.
Man, that's crazy.
People are looking back at the lust of their life. People are looking back at what they thought was beautiful days, right? What they thought was they're not in derision anymore. And right now, brothers are being put through a little fire. Brothers is really being put through a little fire right now. Whether it's with your job, whether it's with your woman, whether it's with your family. But yeah.
Hey, yo, that
And they looking back saying, I can't take this no more.
That tests your integrity.
Huh.
Yo, even going to lot.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about too. Yup.
They turn back. The Lord told them, don't look back. You want to turn to a pillar of salt.
Yep.
But the Lord already knew he was going to do that. He made her a monument to this day.
Right.
You could go over there. That's how they found that place.
Right.
That's how they found it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You look there and go, oh shit. Them higher ups, they read the scriptures, man. Like there was a dude on I don't want to get too far on top. There was a dude off it was called American Creed. He was fraudulent the people out of so much money, but he was buying books. And that made me think about Alexander the Greek and these Edomites. They always want to grab books and everything because they know handwritten. They know it comes from us, man. And it comes from them, man. What's that? 1 Peter 2:20. Grab that book with the shot. If I'm not mistaken. I believe it's 1 Peter 2:20. When it talks about
First Peter 2:20. For what glory is it? For what glory is it?
Yeah.
Which one? What's the paraphrase of it?
All scriptures given.
Oh, all scriptures. Yeah.
There you go. 2 Peter 1.
This book of 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 20. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation.
See that, yo? No private interpretation. So when we come out here, we're speaking to, like, we're speaking to you as men. But that's all we are. You know, we're men. We're in the flesh. We're trying to conquer the flesh. I met a brother yesterday. We was talking to a man, and he kept speaking about the flesh. And he was a Muslim dude. And I'm like, damn. But you gotta be careful. Because that's just, yo, this truth is so real. It's so powerful. And the more you get closer and closer to the end, the more people are going to try to take you out.
Wow.
They're going to come with that smooth, nah, nigga, fuck. If you ain't talking about your eyeballs, you outside, about your copper glass, I don't want to hear it. You
Right.
might speak a good one. You know? Just like what the scripture said. We gotta get going.
This is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 1, verse 20.
Yeah.
Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation.
Right.
For the prophecy came
What
not
they always say,
in
what they
old
always
time.
say, what they always say? Man wrote that.
Right.
Man wrote it. So dickhead. The Lord talks you to your pineal gland. So how you think that it was written down? He took Moses up into a chariot to give him the law, statutes, and commandments, and the Lord wrote it with his own hand, but it took Moses to do that, to bring it down to you. You think he's doing, and that was one man that was so special that the Lord took him up. You think he's going to keep coming down doing that to you, man?
Hey, and as we read on, it's going to tell you what type of men wrote it, though. You know, because the Lord speaks through men. It says, for the prophecy came not in the old time by the will of man. So this ain't, this ain't the will of man.
Because yo, we could be like, I'd rather be home, chilling with a bitch. Whatever, it's not their will. It's his will. That's why, yo, and that's so significant, and that's why Yahweh Shah told us the Lord's Prayer. He said, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Because everything in the heavens is perfect. It's perfect. That's why he told us to pray. You know? Matter of fact, that's the Matthew 6 chapter. Just to prove a point, man, because that's Yahweh Shah was all about the Father, man. You know?
Right.
And that's all that we want. That's all we want. Well, we do understand that this man is in power, and this is his rulership.
Hey, and to land back over to brother, what does the scripture say? Roughly paraphrasing, making of many books, right? Is a weariness of the brain, right? And no, it also says no book can mate with the scriptures. So here's what's written by the will of man: these mad scientist books, right? These that's the will of man. These history books, that's their story, right? That's the will of man. You know, these other books that try to confuse you, because every 10 years, what they got to do? Rewrite the book, fix it, and revise it, and also tell you, oh well, we thought this back then, but now we know this. You ain't got to do this with that. Right. In Malachi, for I'm the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Everything this man has come through, the will of man, gets revised and gets changed.
But they always try to tell you the Bible's been rewritten in this. But how many books do you niggas read?
Yeah, and here's the thing. It ain't been rewritten. There's been different translations that sometimes makes it clear.
For you idiots.
Yeah, it makes it clear. So it ain't been actually rewritten. Only thing is some of these damn devils, what they've done is they've taken certain scriptures out. They've taken the Apocrypha out because they say, oh shit, that's gonna be too easy.
That's why we always refer to the KJV 16:11.
Right.
What you do is called King James homosexual, so why would he quit?
Yeah.
That? Why would he, if he was like that, why would he put that in the Bible?
Hey, that's just somebody, the damn devil trying to get everybody else to not read the Bible. That's all that is. You just want to put out a rumor to cause confusion to make sure that the Israelites don't read the Bible. That's all that is. Like, come on, man. We know your games. You know, and your skirt has been lifted up. You know, we know your master plan. Huh? Yeah. It says, for the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but holy men of Yahweh B'Shem Shai spake as they were moved by the Rakah Kodash.
That's the importance of spirit. All things are spiritual. could have men come out here and boom, 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 and they're not spiritual. They're carnal. Just like today, earlier today, walking in Delhi, man, you had ayahuasca out there. The major guy, I guess he was the guy. Oh, there was people. But you had a body camera on, recording everything. And I'm like, damn. I said, yo, bro. But when I was speaking to the other dude, I said, yo, listen to what you're saying. I said, well, why don't you bring out the scripture on this? Because all they was going into was how to build a book. Okay? That's what media is. I don't even want to say what media is. But that's like, yo, the Lord looks like this. Okay, I understand. But you got, why the fuck do you got a camera on your chest? We don't have no cameras on your chest. Then the dude that was reading the scriptures, he had long ass hair. So I said, yo, why don't you tell him to bring the scripture out about long hair? What Apostle Paul said. It's not a shame for a man to have long hair. But they couldn't bring that out. And they was trying to avoid that. Them dudes, they was like, the dudes that was in there, it's like, yo, come on, man, you look mad, you look good. Of course I'm not. But I'm not going to do nothing to those guys.
Hey, you're defending the gospel.
Yeah, but there's a whole bunch of them niggas out. It was like 7 or 8 of them.
When, today?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, damn. I said, yo, you dudes, like, yo, just tell the truth.
Right.
You know? But y'all gotta gang up on people. Like, yo, that's something you do every day. I guess, yo, man, that's how you know ladies are fucking kind. Because whenever you gotta come out and have a
body cam, you got a body cam.
That's some pussy shit. That's some pussy shit. Real rap, man. Not say that, but also serious. That's some pussy shit. Because the camera is right there. That's who you trusting. Nigga, if you doing shit like that, you trusting Esau.
Hey, they probably sent it to the feds. Hey, we got the body cam. Here's what's going down in this area of the city.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
That was it, though. It's locked.
They say Matthew chapter 6, verse 10. It says, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven.
Yo, this is the way the Lord chose to pray.
Well, if you read up a couple verses up, doesn't it tell you how to? It tells you go in your closet. So like that.
I would now.
Verse 9. It says, after this manner, therefore pray ye.
See that? Yo,
But what does it say when you go up? It says, don't be like, out there in the street with
because yo, Yahweh shine. Listen, Yahweh shine. And the reason why,
go in that closet.
Right. And that's why Yahweh shine is so decent. Yo, when he went to fast, he did it on his own. He ain't doing it from everybody. He ain't telling nobody. And he prayed in secrecy. Why? Because he knew the Lord was going to bless him openly. The same thing with us, man. You gotta follow his footsteps, man. If we don't follow his footsteps, what are we doing? And that's for all walks of life, because we all in different walks of life. We all got a lot of different things going on. But at the end of the day, you're supposed to serve him, man. And we all come on here week in, week out to serve him. And that's every day. You know? But this is what the Lord taught us to pray. And you should be saying this prayer every single day that you exist when you know about it.
So Matthew chapter 6, verse number, I'll start at 5. It says, and when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men.
Yo, just like I remember this woman, nigga woman, down South Philly, visit the South Philly College. And she was out there, I'm sucking this. Yo, it's leaving them. But you in front of everybody, and like a asshole will walk past and look like, yo, she's in the spirit. She's praying for this lady.
The Lord got to speak it in tongues.
Is that yup?
Yeah, right.
But what tongue are you speaking? You can't even fucking, and we could even get that. Like, who are you talking to? Who can verify what you're saying? Nobody. Because it's bullshit. That's a fucking demon, man. And you niggas that go to church and believe that shit, yo, the churches now is even showing you how much bullshit they know. Hollywood showing you. They got niggas in there dancing, and they're doing that. They're making a mock.
That's the biggest joke in Hollywood, the Christian church scenes, especially in our community. That's the biggest joke. It's always a comedy skit. It's a comedy scene when they in our churches. Always.
It says, verily I said to you, they had their reward. They were now, you know? Look at how holy we are. Look at how much money I put in the basket.
Yeah.
Like even the Muslims.
They just want to be seen. They want to be
What they
seen.
do
of
out
men.
here, yo, with Ramadan and all that, everybody was listening. Ramadan, Philadelphia. We got the certain food carts and everything. The niggas got the prayer rug out. Whatever time of day that you pray. Why is you doing that? This is what Yahweh Shai told us to do. I'm talking about Israelites. Strong gun, 44,000. Not you other niggas, not you other nations. Fuck you other nations. Fuck you other nations. Because y'all going to slavery, man. For real, man. You gotta go.
It says, verse 6, but thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut the door, pray to thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly.
Damn.
All right.
So your father, he's in secret, sees you.
All right. Hey, say he knows what you need anyway before you even pray.
You don't want to suppose that, man.
He's going to tell you, yeah.
Because that's, yo, this scripture is so beautiful. And these is Yahweh Shah words. So how could you say that him and the Father are the same? Yo, he already told you, so pray to my Father. You gotta ask him, but you gotta ask me. You get to him. He's your lawyer.
Right. They tell you I sit on the right hand. So
That's
there's
what
another
Stephen
seat.
saw. That's what Stephen saw. And they were stoning him. He looked up in his clouds and was like, oh, just take me.
Right.
They was stoning the shit out of Stephen, man. And for him to look up in the sky and to see, because he was very deaf, man. And he was like, all that pain and everything, he was like, man, fuck this. You see glory, man. You see glory, man. These niggas could never fathom that.
Right.
They want to stay here.
Right.
This
Get-
is bullshit.
And get the crumbs
This is bullshit.
rather than rulership. You want the crumbs.
Yeah. Verse 7. It says, but when ye pray, use not vain repetitions, as the heathen do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking.
Hey, what's a perfect example of that? When back in the day, when you used to go over your aunt or your grandma's house, right, for Thanksgiving or Christmas, Uncle Ray prayed for 10 minutes. It's like, will you listen, man? And Father, and give us this day, Father. They go. I'm like, yo, what is you? And just be babbling, cause they. Oh man, that was a great prayer.
Yo.
Yeah. I mean,
Hey, bro, that reminds me of I always joke with my sister about it. They said, they were saying like some Thanksgiving shit. They be like, if the man that prayed the prayer was a battle rapper, he's like, Father God, to Jesus, do it.
Hey,
This
that's what the Bible describes it like clear. That's why you know the Bible is true indeed, right? It describes us to a T.
And yo, that's why the Lord said, because yo, they look at men like the churches, man.
Yeah,
They're wicked as hell, man. What they look at them for their words, their sin,
right.
and your upbringing in schools
Right.
of Babylon. That's why Yahweh Shah came through. He wasn't in none of that shit, man. He ain't
Right.
going to no schools with them niggas. He just knew the truth. Because Yahweh gave it to
And
him.
the spirit, the spirit was put on power, right? Hey, just like the deacons be in church too, and they do it because they want you a woman. I'm gonna put it on them today. You know, this is my rap album. This day, prayer is a damn rap album. They turn it into a damn rap album. 16 bars. You know, speaking of smooth words to get a woman.
So I'm glad them scribes and Pharisees going to the marketplaces, just, doing certain things to be seen of men.
Yeah.
You know, the woman probably looking at, oh, that's such a simple. You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
Exactly. Well, you know how to put them words together.
We out here openly because we're supposed to be in the marketplaces.
Right.
To blow the trumpet on the, towards Israel. Other than that, we, for the most part, Clark King with it,
Huh.
But anyway, so it says, verse,
And that Clark Kent is gone. They got our pictures everywhere. They surveilling us. Hey, so it is what it is. We just gotta make sure we got the foundation and the strength, and pray for that foundation and strength to continue to stand 10 toes down and endure to the edge, because they know who we are. They pride themselves in destroying our lives, so that we can go back to them on our knees. So they think it ain't gonna happen, Captain.
That's why the Lord says to feel like this.
verse 8 says, but not ye therefore like unto them, for your Father knoweth what things ye have need of before ye ask him. After this manner therefore pray ye, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Yo, he said that kingdom come, man. And I was saying, Yahweh gave Yahweh Shah the kingdom. When it tells, it says a world without end. That's Yahweh's kingdom. As a matter of fact, you want to take it even further, you can go to Yahweh. This is his kingdom because he created it. He set up whoever he wants to set up. And he makes a fall at his time. Yahweh Shah don't even know when he's coming back. That's how much order that Yahweh Shah is in. And he teaches us that. That's why he told us to pray to the Father and him, man. Because he's the intercessor.
And this is why we have so much faith that anything Esau and Edom does to us, hey, well, the scriptures say to take it cheerfully. And that's why it puts Esau and Edom and the other heathen nations in such derision, which they can't understand. How are they taking us cheerfully? I done fired him. I done took away his family. I done did this to him. How is he still being so cheerful? Because we got faith in Yahweh Bashim Shai, knowing that you control nothing. And so this is just the test that he's putting us through, using you.
Grab some rock, too, and start at this one.
You know, you can't do nothing without the power of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Thinking you doing something, thinking you taking stuff away from us. You take nothing but what Yahweh gives you.
And you know what? And I gotta say this too. Because we all in the flesh, man. And the spirit is different from the flesh. You know what I'm saying? So because we all here in the flesh, no, that's why the Lord, when he went out to grab the 12, he went through a lot of men. But But he knew who they was. And they was all in the flesh, but he had to show them how to conquer the flesh. That's why Yahweh Shah fasted so much, man. To get rid of those feelings and all that. This shit right here is a motherfucker.
Huh.
It can have your mind thinking crazy. You gotta deny this shit, man. That's why the Lord got a new body for you, man. Because you would start thinking the wrong thing about your brother, and that's your fucking brother, man. You know?
All right, new body and a new mind.
That's
Because
right.
you're going to put the laws in our inward part.
I didn't say, I got a new attitude. You know what I mean? Yo, the Lord going to give you a new attitude,
Right.
man.
So
From
we'll,
your head to your shoes.
so we'll see who was right and who was wrong in the end.
That's right, yo, that's right, bro.
Because you think you so right now. You think you got so much power right now. Hey, and the Lord's given to you. But we're going to see in the end who was right and who was wrong. Because the Lord's got his men. So we suffer for that crown of life. We ain't worried about what you do to, what you think you can do to us. That's why we take it so cheerfully. That's why you're like, damn, he ain't reacting in this way. He ain't raising hell. That's what you want us to do. We ain't gonna do that.
Patience.
Hey, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't worried about you.
No, finish that. Bring that up.
That's rock too. Yeah.
It says, give us this, verse 11, give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors.
Yo, because we always in debt with somebody.
Huh.
And then somebody's in debt with you. That goes into the scripture where it talks about the king.
Yeah.
And one man,
Yep.
he owed him so much. That's why the Lord told him, because he knew all these things, man. And that man, you went at a man that owed you way less money
Right.
than you owed the king. And the king, when he heard about it, he got wind of it. He like, man, I'm fucking this nigga up.
Right.
Because I just forgave you.
Right.
And that was righteous. Because, yo, man, you
And-
owe me all. So that's being a bully, man.
Hey, he could have done the same thing. All right, since I don't gotta pay the king back now, hey man, don't even worry about it.
Huh.
He could have easily done that.
Hey, yo, brother, you bring that out a lot.
Huh.
You bring that out a lot. That's
Right.
That's
Yeah. All right.
That's a true story.
It says, verse 13, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever.
Ever.
So he said, God is the king. Right? God is
His king, huh?
Yo, when you hear those words, it's a short prayer, but it's so powerful. And the people like the Christians in the church and all that, they don't understand what that means. They really don't dig it. When you really can wrap your mind around it, you still, like, you can pray it every day, and you still gotta wrap your mind around what Yahweh Shah told you. Like, damn, he said, what? But you pray it because you believe. He said, yo, that right there is heavy, man. You can't get around that, man. You're talking about a power that made all this that we see, the trees, everything that we see. He made us. And put us head of all things. Even put Esau, that's how great the Lord is, because he put Esau in control of the animals right now. Because it's their time to go. So just imagine when the brother brought out First Kings 2 and 22 or something, when the donkey spoke. Donkey spoke to him, and that's how you know the Lord is in control of all these spirits, even animals, bro. That's why I say he don't need us to serve him. That's like that's like how you say, like a grace period or something like that. The Lord is teaching. Like, I don't need you, but I want you. And I know because I created you, I know your mind. And I know how much you care about me, but I spoke my word. And that's all that matters. A king can never go back on his word. Way that our brothers up.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, prepare thy soul for temptation.
That's right. And look, that's everything. Because Satan's going to try to come at you. Even while we stand out there talking, we got the women walk past.
With nothing on.
We got fun, they're fun.
Yeah, nothing on.
You can't front about that.
Right.
They're beautiful women. But where's their mindset at?
Yeah.
You know? But that's the Lord, because he's like, yo, I want all your attention. Because
Right.
you're my woman.
What Apostle Tahar call them hyenas. Leave them hyenas alone. Leave
So
them
these
hyenas
niggas,
alone.
these niggas, that's why in Jacob's trouble, everybody that chased this money and this dollar and
Right.
everything, they're going to fool. Bro.
Right.
They gonna
Full hard.
come.
Or if you ain't never lose nothing, that's why the Lord put us through the test right now.
That's right.
With these losses. Well, so-called losses, because they're actually gains.
Gang, that's right, bro.
You know, we're actually gaining.
Like a joke.
Right, right. The Lord is actually removing shit. You ain't making us lose nothing. The Lord is actually removing stuff. You know, you think you taking away something from us. Yahweh is actually removing it from our life.
Yo, when does that ever happen? You got your alarm on. You got to stop. That's fucking crazy. But nah, what brings us back to Matthew, when Yahweh shall tell you something great. Well, not good, but
It says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure and make not haste in time of troubles.
that so, man,
Constantly endure though too.
talk to him, bro.
Constantly endure because this devil is coming down having great wrath. And this is just a sip. We just getting a sip of it. So when that Jacob trouble fully kicks in and you ain't lost nothing and you ain't been put under any type of pressure, you gonna fold like the brother said. What they say, fold like yeah, no, it's something else they say. They got a saying. A cheap something. I forgot what it is.
Nah,
Yeah.
Yo, it's like Muhammad Ali, bro. But you could always tell a man, like, when he's up against pressure.
Right.
Muhammad Ali, he made me think that he was fucked up, he was doing
That rope-a-dope. Yeah.
but he blocking himself. He
Right.
might let you slide some Jones in.
Right.
Yuck, yuck. Okay, that's all you got, nigga. You still doing this.
Right.
You know what I mean? He doing all
Meanwhile,
that.
you throwing haymakers, using all your energy up.
There you go.
And Esau, you throwing haymakers
And
at us right now.
He's resting.
Yeah, you
know
using
what he's
all
doing?
your
He's resting,
energy
like,
up. Yeah.
that's the man of the Lord, bro.
Yeah.
He's doing the
That
work.
patience. We patiently waiting on Yahweh Ba'ashem shot, and he's going to throw that haymaker on you. That right hook. That combination.
Listen to the corner.
Hey, that you ain't gonna be able to stand. You ain't gonna be able to stand against that. You gonna fold and you gonna fumble, right? All these heathen nations, starting with Esau, Edom. You know. It says, and so yeah, so it says, make not haste in the time of trouble. Yeah, you so busy wanting to react because something was done to you. Right? But you got to understand why it was done to you. It's being done for the name's sake of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And what the scriptures say? If they hated me, know that's going to hate you too. if you're not of this world, the world is going to hate you. So expect that. And so, hey, you got to make sure you got sufficient enough to build, to continue to build, continue to grow in this faith. You know, is this going to make you grow in the faith, or is this going to make you do what many people have been doing on YouTube right now and folding, right, and leaving the truth in the last hour? But that's what the Lord is going to do. This is still sifting season, and He's sifting a lot of people.
No, that's.
Hey, and ain't none of us too high to be sifted out. That's why we got to pray that the Lord, hey, continues to sup with us, that He doesn't take, that He doesn't cast us away from His presence, that He doesn't take not His Holy Spirit from us. You know, hey, and we let the bug outs be the bug outs that they are. We can't make nobody understand this truth. It is what it is. It says, cleave unto Him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
No, but it says you shall increase at your last end.
Right.
Because yo, listen, a lot of people can't take losses. Which that's what they would call it. You know what I mean? I lost this, I lost it. Nah, brother. You gotta think eternity. You really gotta think eternity. Because in this body, in this mind frame and everything like that, you can't fathom that. That will make your body overload. But the Lord gave it to His men, and it's written in the book, man. You know? To increase at your last end. So that means suffering, patience. Patience is suffering. And going through everything that you have to go through in life, you know? Because you want to get to a point. Like niggas want to hustle on the block and everything to they like, oh, I gotta hit the mark. What's your mark? What's your mark here? What are you trying to achieve, man? Do you want eternal life? Do you want to just die here, man? Eventually, at the end of the day, you're going to come into the kingdom through the loins of another man. But what do you want to accomplish here, man? Do you want your name written in the book of life? Or you just want to be an average citizen? No? These are things you got to ask yourself. Why I'm in this truth? Why I'm this? Why I'm that?
Hey, and pray that the Lord just didn't just call you so He can use you as a signpost, but actually that you're called and chosen. So you got sufficient enough to endure to the end.
That's a goal. That's a goal right there. You want to be of that. Yo, I'll be honest with you. As a young man, little boy, reading the scriptures, and I read about the 144,000, I was like, damn, that scared me, man. The way my mind was thinking, I'm like, yo, only 144,000 men gonna make it.
All right.
Why the hell am I even, why do I exist? You know what I mean? It hurt. But then when I started learning, I'm like, oh shit. Damn, I might could be one of those men. I hope I am one of those men. But you're still always a hope, man.
All right.
That's the purpose of praying to the Lord, man. Through the Son. Because these other dudes, they don't like to reverence the Son. Just like the Muslims, they don't want to reverence. Oh, he's just a prophet. Man, he's more than that. Fuck out there. Niggas is crazy.
Hey, and that's why you don't need to have too much conversation with the 2/3 or other people in this world. All you gotta do is ask them 2 or 3 simple questions. You know who you are. You know what your purpose is. You know why you're here. And if they ain't talking about Yahweh Shem Shai, there you go right there. That's all you need to know.
He was on my way over here. We had the sign. Somebody was looking at it. He asked me first, where you at? Right there, boom. radio.
You had to sign.
He kept looking for a minute. I'm not up there. I mean, spiritually, he said that, but that's you are. He's thinking like a woman in a mix, and, you know? Jake don't know where they at, man.
No.
You know?
And it's because they've been deaf, dumb, and blind by Yahweh Bashim Shah. They've been made deaf, dumb, and blind by Yahweh Bashim Shah. Because once you start trying to talk to them, and they ain't getting it, right? They on a different time, different beat. And hey, what does it say after 2 or 3 admonitions? Hey, keep it moving. Keep it moving. And you know, when you first come into this thing, yeah, when you first come in, you talking about it 24/7. So you just trying to change everybody until you know. Hey, but we're in the last days of the last days. We can't continue.
And this is, back up what the brother said. Go fast. Because the Lord can give you into a whole lot of wisdom. You know? And even going back to the book of Job, chapter 1, when the sons of Yahweh came, all that. Satan had to ask permission to be able to fuck with Job. You couldn't just fuck with him just because he wanted to. That shit don't make no sense as Christian churches teach. It don't make no sense at all, man.
They don't teach. It's a day club. It's a day club. It's where you go to party.
All you gotta do is just speak.
Yeah.
Eat some chicken at the end of the service.
No, catfish, fried catfish, fish fry. There's more on this if you ain't got it. It says, okay.
St. Luke chapter 22, verse number 31. It says, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee.
And going to the sifting.
That thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brother.
Are you strengthening your brother? Do what you wrote them. Your words, your encouragement, your hearts. Kisses on your brother cheek and everything. That strengthens your brother, your conversation. Through the scriptures, man. That strengthens your brother, man. Because, we might be apart from each other all week, man. You know, we talk and everything, but like, at the end of the day, it's like, damn. We have our moments of weakness. Now, our side, that's being real.
Right.
That's being
hey, we're in this flesh.
Yeah, that's being 100% honest. We all have our moments of weakness. That's why we need him, and we need strength from our brothers. And our brothers, that's what the brotherhood is about, man. To help your brother, to strengthen him, man. Brother, I'm going through the same thing as you. And everybody is set up in different ways to better the body. It's like a body. Like I asked a woman, me and the brothers talking to this one woman, and she was talking about this crazy shit. And I just asked her a simple question. I said, what's the significance of a liver in the body? She couldn't answer. And it's so simple. That's a filter. It filters out bullshit that you don't need in your body, but you can abuse. Because you will abuse it, it's going to fuck your liver up. Or you can take so much. That's the body, man. Just like you got men in the script, in the word, in the Bible. They might be the liver. They fill this shit out, man. You got men as a part of veins. You got a body consists of multiple members, man. That's why the Lord said 144,000.
It says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
Patient. He's suffering. Right? We kings, man. This brother is very intelligent. This brother is very intelligent. You know? But we're brought under the subjection of Esau, which is a fucking idiot.
Right, the biggest idiot on the planet. Knows
But
nothing.
We gotta learn his ways.
Right. To be dumber. We basically gotta be dumber to survive here.
I just say dumb and dumb.
Right. You gotta get stupid.
So they want to make
Get
us
stupid to survive here.
That's why the Lord said, my sheep are led to slaughter.
Yeah.
You leave sheep, they just follow whatever, you know. They just, you know, got false leaders, you got, you know.
Yeah. And like we were saying before, yeah. Esau, once you find out who we are, you're going to try to make our lives miserable. Because the power has been given into your hands to do such a thing. But what you don't know is Yahweh is actually removing things that don't even belong in our life. You know? So you thinking you bringing us to a lower state, and Yahweh is actually relieving us from being around you and your evil, wicked ways, thinking that you right. No.
Because you really gotta fathom things, man. Like, all right, here in this world, we got watches, everything, because everything's on the time. When you sit in the heavens, there's no time limit. That's why the Lord said you're gonna rule forever. It's a world without end, man. There ain't no watches there. You know what I mean? Like, yo, that's great. So we're sitting here in this little bit of time, because we're in this changing darkness.
Right.
In this flesh, that's what it is, changing darkness. We're crying out, Lord, deliver us.
Right, because we in a damn
We wanna
nightmare.
be out of this shit.
Yeah, this is a
man.
damn nightmare.
We wanna be out of this shit.
But you think you're going to win. And again, you may be winning right now, but you're not going to win. This is going to be the Lord. Jake just want to entertain. Jake just want to be entertaining. Man. Hey, but we're gonna ultimately win through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy. Yahweh Bashem El Shai. So you can continue to kiki and mock and scoff the prophets and continue to go against Yahweh Bashem El Shai. But at the end of the day, we are going to see very soon who was right and who was wrong. Who's the sons of God, who's the sons of the wicked. We're going to see very soon. And your judgment is going to be a great judgment. Just like our deliverance is going to be a great deliverance. This judgment and destruction is going to be a time like never seen before.
So some more on that one?
It says,
After that, please grab Romans chapter 3, starting verse 1.
it says, for gold is tried in the fire,
There you go.
and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Listen, was not Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and I use those names because that was their Babylonian names. You know? But was they not tried in actual fire? Those men were thrown into don't it say furnace in there? They was actually thrown into a furnace. These niggas now that's doing all this shooting and this yo, let them tell you, nigga, I'm gonna give you life. Just life. Look how these niggas walk. They turn on women, man.
Hey, they turn to that when they get in an interrogation room.
Yo.
And they can't eat for 10 hours.
Yo,
And they start telling the whole city.
Yo,
Forget the block.
that nigga
Forget the
get a
house. They start
cheeseburger.
telling the whole
All
city.
it is a cheeseburger plate. You know, some extra cheese on that. So you don't even gotta give that cheese.
Right. Hey, you start telling the old shit from things from 10 years ago.
And that's crazy, but these that they love, you gotta understand one thing. But when it comes to the spirit, think of Yahweh Shah every time you open your eyes, man. Even when you go to sleep. Think about what he risked. He ain't risked nothing for real. Think about what he laid his life
Yeah,
down
they gave
for.
up.
Come on,
He
now.
gave up his life for us.
That's right. That's right. So this, and he ain't say nothing. He died a criminal's death, and he ain't do nothing wrong, man. He ain't do nothing wrong, man.
Right. But told the truth. It says, believe in him, and he will help thee.
Yo, believe
Order
it.
thy way aright and trust in him.
That's what we do. Yo, we could try to be away from everybody, but it always comes around. I don't care where you at. When this word comes out, people fly. I know that. Even though it's and the elder Aaron Watts, he was like, yo, man, he said, we can't sit out there and talk about the word because it's going to get disrupted. I'm like, oh, yo, ain't nobody on this block right now. I'm talking to type shit. As soon as that book opened, we started reading, and it was cold as hell. I said, that's crazy, because it was just dead. It wasn't nobody out there. That's how you know this word is powerful. This word means everything. That's why it's called the word, because, yo, from his word, everything was formed, man. Even ourselves, our spirits, was formed from his word. That's how powerful the word is, man. You know?
It says, ye that fear Yahweh Bashmal Shai, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall. Yeah,
Go
this-
not
All
aside.
right, oh
Read that
man,
again.
this Sirach 2 is something. It's right on time. What we talking about? It says, ye that fear Yahweh Bashmal Shai, wait for his mercy, and go not aside
And
lest
what's
ye
his
fall.
mercy? What's his mercy? We
For
wanna
us, it's that
see-
deliverance. Yeah, ultimately, it's that deliverance. It's getting on that
Look at
that
all
fathership.
these- Look at all these people out
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, all right.
Look at all these people out here. They need deliverance and they don't even think.
Hey,
They got women problems. They
right.
got children problems. They got
Right.
financial problems. They got all types of problems. Because they don't turn to him.
Hey, and even when we do, he's going to put that test on you anyway. So you're going to have financial problems. So you're going to have children problems. You're going to have woman problems. You're going to have all of that.
Everything.
Right. Now, are you going to stay in the faith? Are you going to continue to trust in him? Or are you going to continue to walk in his ways? That's the question that he's and he knows.
And see, he's
Yo, only he knows.
All right.
Only he knows. Because you don't. And that, yo, that's the first thing about this ministry and this doctrine is the unknown. But you know that the kingdom is coming. But you want to know where you stand. That's a beautiful scripture.
It's a rock. Kill. It says,
That's knowledge, man.
It says, ye that fear Yahweh Bashmal Shai, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. And that reward, man, is right here on earth. The kingdom of heaven is on earth. And that's going to be our rulership.
Because the kingdom of heaven is within you. That's who you are. Yo, the kingdom of heaven came with Yahweh Shai. When he came down, he just had to ignite like sparking a match or whatever, like the candle. He had to light you quick. Just like, yo, the kingdom of heaven is within That's when you go to the book of Acts. That's why the apostles was able to do the word every day, man. They believe on him because he walked personally with those men. Personally. To show them. Peter did other miracles, man. They made men walk again. You think that's not going to happen in this time right now, man? The men read that again about the ones that believe in it, man.
It says, ye that fear Yahweh Bashmel Shai,
The
believe
ones that
him.
fear him, believe him because his words are true. I'm speaking to myself too. Like you see all this wickedness, like that's the appearance of a brother. As you get beat up all day,
Right.
punched him.
Right.
But you gotta like this. You gotta have a cup. You know?
Hey, and brothers kind of can fill your cup a little bit, right? But you still got to ask and pray for Yahweh Bashmel Shai, because you can't depend on men. Can't depend on other men. You got to put your whole trust in Yahweh Bashmel Shai.
That's right.
But if you got righteous men around you, hey, that is going to be a faith booster. It's going to, hey, when I come around these men, man, that's probably the only time I'm happy all goddamn week. On some real. Right? Because you deal with a whole bunch of nonsense in this world. You know? That nobody would want to put up with. It says, ye that fear Yahweh Bashmel Shai, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy.
That's what we want. A world without him. We want to be happy. We want to be peaceful. As a whole, Jake is really peaceful.
Huh?
That's real bad. And the reason why Jake react the way he act, because the ultimate devil has set up ops for you.
Mm-hmm.
And now you look, yo, that's my ops. I gotta kill him. This. But as long as you follow the guidelines, like even if them niggas in gangs and everything, they follow the guidelines. They're like, yo, we in this gang. Well, as long as they don't do this and this, that, we cool. You think Esau don't know that about us, man?
Hey,
They the ultimate ops, man.
yeah. But hey, you also got to think about the curses too. The Lord took away the spirit of brotherly love. He took away that spirit, and he said, what? Your eyes are going to be evil towards your brother.
That's
And what
crazy.
other nation of people will kill somebody because somebody else looked at them wrong?
Well, fuck
You give me somebody else that do that.
color.
Right.
You got blue on.
Right.
Yo, I watched the.
No other
video.
people do that to each other.
It was a dude. They had different hats, and it was over there in LA. And I saw the Philadelphia joint. I'm like, what? You niggas tripping. Like, you niggas got a drum for every gang that you in, and it's so complicated when you look at it. It's like, yo, that's division.
Yeah.
Esau really divided you niggas up, man.
You come from out of town, you don't know no better. You gonna get caught up.
And you using fucking hats.
Right.
Some shit that.
And hey, what people used to say back in the day, especially in Philly, who you gritting on? God. Yeah. And then get right to it.
Stepped on my white ear. bro.
Right.
But that just shows right there, through the Deuteronomy 28,
Right.
proves that we are those people.
Right.
Because what other nation is going through those specific
Nobody else is doing that.
Now you may have Jake that look like these other nations and follow their customs and live out there, you know. But as a whole, you know, like alright, Philadelphia, it's majority, but I would say Judah, Benjamin, you still got people,
Yeah.
you know, you got all the tribes,
Yeah.
you know.
That's doing all the wickedness. Yeah.
Like you see the
Why they call it
blocks where they
Philadelphia.
reside at the ghettos. Because they even call the ghettos. What was that word ghetto? Which is goes back to what Jews, which they named it. So you look at the areas of where we reside at. That's like the worst place.
Right.
But you
Right.
see Esau, where they at, it's just all calm, portions up front. You're not worried about
grass.
their time
Right,
Gotcha.
grass.
Gotcha. This is what the brother said, right? This is in the dictionary for the word ghetto, right? It says a poor urban area occupied primarily by a minority group or groups, which they call as minorities, right? It says the Jewish quarter in a city. So who are they talking about? It says the Warsaw Ghetto, all right? Resembling or characteristics of a ghetto or its inhabitants, especially with relation to African American culture.
Huh.
Dang. That's crazy.
Great.
That's all.
So that's telling you who you are.
Right.
The ghetto, like yo, even what's the boy name? Akon did that song. Ghetto, when you look at the ghetto, that's a mockery to your own people. And I don't even know if he's an Israelite.
Right. Yeah, he may be ham.
Yeah. And if he is an Israelite, he's a bitch ass.
Hey,
Either way, he's
definitely
still a
2/3.
bitch
Yeah,
ass.
regardless.
He's still a bitch ass.
You
He's
better.
building cribs in Africa.
Now
Right.
you're talking about ghetto, but that's telling you where your people live at. You know?
Right.
Yeah,
It says, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? Yeah, this right on time.
That's why we call. Can you read that again?
This right on time.
Shine.
It says,
That's dope.
verse 10, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai
No, and that's
and
our
was
ancestors.
confounded?
That's our ancestors. Our ancestors.
Yeah.
It's are us. But the Lord, like, yo, when it says about the sins of your fathers and everything like that, because you are your father. You just came back. The Lord is not, though, just like the works of the prophet follows the prophet. You know? Whatever you do in your past life is going to follow you to this life. That's why Yahweh Shai told you about the regeneration. Yo, you're going to follow me in the regeneration, which is now. But have anybody that ever in that time, and you can read about it, that trusted and called on Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai, Ba'ashem HaRachak Madasha was forsaken. Moses called on him. Look what happened in fucking Egypt, man. He sent them there. Look what happened in Rome. All these different nations that fell. So you think right now, because we're sitting here and we're living it, because we're in real life, live time, you think because we're calling on the same name, you think he's going to forsake us? And you sincere about it?
Yeah, because Esau
You can't, no.
put a little bit of pressure on you. Hey, you forsake Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai. You fall out.
That's what they want you to do.
Yeah.
That's yo, man, listen. They want you to do that so bad because they know how much power comes behind that name, man.
All right.
I promise you. I promise, man, I put my life and my soul on that. And I mean that. My whole existence. I put it on that.
Hey, and they try to use everything and everybody around you against you to actually come out of that. Like I was telling our brothers, hey man, I had this demon talk about something. Yeah, that Israelite stuff played out, man. When you gonna stop that? Okay, we're gonna see. And hey, every idle word that you say, you're gonna have to give account to. Every idle word that you say, every evil thought that you think, you're gonna have to give account to. You know, hey, and you ain't gonna count to us. You're gonna count to Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai, the true name of who you call so-called God, and Jesus Christ. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's the true name. It says, for the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering, and very pitiful. and forgiveth sins, and saveth in time of affliction. Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways. Woo!
That's being
Double-minded man too, right? And hey, you faint of heart, because again, you got a little bit of pressure on you, and you doing this. You know, Esau come down on you, and you should shake it. and hey, all right, I give up. I quit. I won't speak in that name no more. You know? Yeah. Who they tell it to? Was it Peter? And the apostles, don't speak in that name. Yeah, don't speak in that name. We told you not to speak in that name, and they wanted to put him to death. But what happened? The Lord got him out of that jam.
Yo, I
Yahweh.
It's Acts chapter 4 and verse 18. The black my brother.
God.
Yeah.
Cause that's why Yahweh Shah told you. He said you're gonna be hated by all men for his name's sake.
God.
Well, they escaped by praying to that name.
Right.
So, like,
Hey, time and time again, like the brother said, get thrown in the furnace, the lion's den, right?
Yeah, that's
all
what
those
always,
things.
That's what they always try to do.
Right.
And yo, they always threaten you
With death. Yeah.
Yo, bro, I'm gonna show you this, man.
Correct.
Come on now. What you just said, brother. That's the spirit.
Yeah.
Because yo, they threatened you with those, and the names that you just brought up, they was threatened
Right.
and they was released.
Hey, through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy, Yahweh Bashim Shah.
That's right, bro.
And nothing else.
That's right. Yo, this is the book of Acts. I'm gonna check this. Oh my God. God damn, look at that cloud right there, bro.
Ooh, beautiful.
That's crazy.
And it looks like it's moving right towards us, too.
Yo, this is the book of Acts, chapter 4, starting at verse 13, where I showed the brothers says threaten release. Because like they threaten us. They always do that. But eventually they gotta release us. Going back to first Exodus. Right? When we was in the Egyptian captivity. They threatened us, they threatened Moses and everything. They tried to combat with their magician and everything. That's how you know it's power on the left-hand side and the right-hand side, but the Lord controls both of them. Because the Egyptians, they was nice with this shit. They wasn't nice with Yahweh Bashim. That's why Yahweh sent Yahweh Shah be that death angel for our first Passover to destroy all the firstborn of the motherfuckers. And we celebrate that to this day. The same way they celebrate Thanksgiving and other things like that, they celebrate the slaughter of us and everything like that. We celebrate the same thing. So what's wrong with that? But you can do it because you're in leadership. Right? Check it out. This is Acts chapter 4, verse 13. It says, now when they saw the boldness of Peter and John and perceived that they were unlearned and ignorant men, they marveled and they took knowledge of them that they had been with Yahweh. Unlearned because why? They didn't go to your schools. Unlearned men, ignorant.
Right.
No, matter of fact, let's get this.
You already know what the fuck it
The
is.
word
man.
ignorant.
It's okay.
It says the boldness because the Lord. That's why we're able to come up here and speak bold. Why? Because you believe, you trust Him. You know. Check it out.
Strong's G2399. Idiotes.
Play it back. Bring it back.
Strong's G2399. Idiotes.
It says idiotes, right? Which is that's to be like what it says, like, you know? It says a private person as opposed to a magistrate, ruler, and king. A private person. So, check it out. It says a common soldier as opposed to a military officer. But now we soldiers in the army or your outlaws outside. We don't gotta have the stripes in the uniforms and all that these people have on. But we're soldiers, we're common soldiers. It says a writer of prose as opposed to a poet, and an unlearned, illiterate man as opposed to a learned and educated one who is unskilled in any art. So we'll be considered unlearned men because we didn't go to those schools. Like right now, you got the Christian colleges, things like that.
Seminary, right?
Yeah, you got all that. You pay for them. They all pastor. Bro, when you came at the Edomite woman, she was like, I went to Bible college. He's like, man, you wasted your money. You
And
should
your
have
time.
gave that money to me.
Right. Wasted your money and your time. Going to those, what do you call it? He call them cemeteries.
Yeah, good.
Biblical cemeteries.
Yo, good. Yo, he's snapping. Check out this Acts 4:13. It says, now when they saw the boldness of Peter and John and perceived that they were unlearned and ignorant men, they marveled, and they took knowledge of them. They knew that they had been with Yahushua. And beholding the man which was healed standing with them, they could say nothing against him. But when they had commanded them to go aside out of the council, they conferred amongst themselves, saying, what shall we do to these men? For that indeed a notable miracle hath been done by them is manifest for all them that dwell in Jerusalem, and we cannot deny it. So this is when Peter and John came into the synagogue and said, sitting there, everybody knew that this man was going to walk. So now it's like, they knew, like, he walked with Yahushua. Because Yahushua told you, he said, these things that I do, you're going to be able to do more. But he gave them the authority and power. Just believe in him. Walking with Yahushua, man. Man, listen. Hey, that's one of the greatest experiences that you can ever have in your life. Ever. Because look what the man did, man. Even to us. Woke us up. You know? But it says, verse 16, it says, saying, what shall we do to these men? For that indeed a noble miracle hath been done. They knew it was the truth. By them is manifest to all them that dwell in Jerusalem. And we cannot deny it. So the same thing that we out here only teaching the truth. No, they cannot deny that we're telling the truth. You want to come against us? So be it. Have a field day. Do what you gotta do. You want to kill us? Do what you gotta do. But just know this: we're going to come back again. And if you kill one prophet, another prophet is going to be raised up. But all you're doing is damning yourself. That's why they were so. Just like right now, they like, what can we do with these men? How can we orchestrate something to make the men look wrong? Because they out there telling the truth. And these people that walk by and hear us, they know we telling the truth, man. They know that. So they gotta try to infiltrate Just like that nigga that day that had the camera on his jaw. If you can't tell that them niggas is cops, you out your fucking mind. And he was a high-ranking officer. Because when I was talking to the one dude, I wasn't even talking to them. I was talking to the boy that they were talking to. I'm like, yo, bro. He was like, yo, just let us do our thing. Let us do our thing. I'm like, I said, bro, I'm not under your phone, man. I don't gotta listen to you. Basically, nigga, fuck you. Which made him, because he was standing in the background. And all I kept doing, I said, yo, the man you got reading the scriptures, I said, yo, read what the Apostle Paul said about long hair. I said, ask him that. I should have told him to ask him about the R. Michaels. That would have fucked their whole mind. They might have fucking exploded. But it just wasn't the spirit at the time. You know? Check it out. Acts chapter 4, verse 17, it says, but that it spread no further. All right, now I'm gonna go back to 16. It says, Acts chapter 4, verse 16, it says, saying, what shall we do to these men? For that indeed a notable miracle hath been done by them, is manifest to all them that dwell in Jerusalem. And we cannot deny it. But that is spread no further among the people, let us straightly threaten them that they speak henceforth to no man in this name. So, because they saw what happened. And that's how you know, like, you got, even now, man. That's why Yahweh told you were the hater of all men, combined being sick. If the world hates you, it hated you before because it hated me, and it hated the one that sent me. Because Yahweh, he was the one that he created everything. So if you ain't get chosen by him, why wouldn't you be? That's what you even supposed to do. You want to love him. Because when we come into power, all this shit that's going on now, it ain't gonna happen. These motherfuckers can't wait to come to power, but they don't even dig it. Because when we come into power, the trees gonna be happy, the air is gonna be happy, the land is gonna be happy, the animals are gonna be happy. See, it's gonna be clear blue.
Right. Because you're gonna have the crabs.
Everything is about to get back into its natural habitat.
Well, everybody doing what they're supposed to be doing. The crabs going to clean the sea and all the other abominable foods that you take out of the sea that's supposed to be cleaner. Yeah.
And that proves right there that there wasn't calling on Jesus or anything like that.
Of course not. Of course not. Jay was just put into existence not too long ago.
It says, verse 18, it says, and they called them and commanded them not to speak at all, nor teach in the name of Yahweh. But Peter and John answered and said unto them, whether it be right in the sight of the Most High to hearken unto you more than unto the Most High, judge ye. For we cannot but speak the things which we have seen and heard. Come on, man. Which we have seen and heard, and that's why the scriptures tell you. Better is him that have not seen, but still believes. Roughly paraphrased. They said we can't speak nothing but we seen and we heard. We saw it. We was there.
All right, we
witnessed it, nigga. Yeah. So we going to speak it. So fuck you. Do what you gotta do, man. Because you already did it to your outside, man. And we as followers, man. What you want to call Christians.
Hey, and that's some threat tactics that you guys pulled on me. I know you was trying to pull me away, but you saw I wasn't going to go nowhere. So you had to go the bully route. That's fine. But we're going to see at the end of the day what's going to happen. We're going to see that judgment that's going to come upon your head.
That's right, bro. It says, verse 20 says, For we cannot but speak the things which we have seen and heard. So when they had further threatened them, and that's all you're doing is threatening. When they had further threatened them, they let them go, finding nothing how they might punish them. Because of the people, for all men glorify the Most High for that which was done. For the man was above 40 years old, on whom this miracle of healing was ushered. So the Lord, listen, we out here, we're speaking. We're doing all that. Talking to the people. We're speaking publicly. Now over here, they got the joint. All this shit's set up.
Right.
I don't give a fuck. At this point, right now, I don't give a fuck about Esau and your kingdom. Never have, never will. Man.
Hey, we can't wait for the famine of the word. Yeah, we care.
Y'all know. I want the Lord to keep blessing us. These niggas.
Yeah, because we tired of talking.
They block us so much. Now we can't come out publicly. And that's what I asked the boy today. I said, damn, what is this, martial law?
Right.
He couldn't even answer this.
Right.
He's like, martial law.
Yeah,
Like he was,
dumb looking.
yeah. Because that's basically what y'all doing. Then the hover boy, I was like, outside of them days, he's like, he ain't want to see nothing. Then at the end of the conversation, now you want to get like,
That's
I
what,
believe he was a chick.
you know, that's part of barricading certain areas. You can't
Right.
touch.
That's the fact of the word.
Right. Right. But hey, when that comes, that's what I'm saying. Destruction is going to come faster. So we hasten the day. You know?
That's where we was teaching.
Yeah.
Now they pushing you off the corners. Pushing you off the corners.
That's it. Huh. Right? But hey, it's the Lord's will. It's the Lord's time. But hey, like I'm gonna continue to say, hey, we wish it was yesterday. And since it didn't happen yesterday, hey, we hope it's today. And if not today, 1 second past sundown.
Yeah, because that's we hastening
Yeah.
in the time of Yahweh Shah's return.
Yeah.
Right? I believe Peter was saying, we look for a new heaven and a new Jerusalem where we dwell in righteousness. Why wouldn't you? But they look at us and why do you want destruction to come? Why? Well, because, hey, that is the end of the day.
And this world is turned upside down, right? We want it to come back to its natural, like you said earlier, brother, course. You know? And it is so wicked, it is so polluted, that it has to be destroyed by fire. Right? Hey, and guess what? This ain't going to be inhabited no longer. But when we go back to our rightful place, Jerusalem, hey, it's going to be built back up. But that's also going to be destroyed. It's going to be built back up. You know? And yes, in order for our rulership to happen, destruction must come. So you're damn right we can't wait for destruction to come. Because we want to be able to magnify and glorify and praise the name of Yahweh Bashem Moshai constantly. That's what we want. We don't want to wait on that. No longer. We want to be able to be righteous 100% of the time. We want those laws written in our inward parts. We don't want to sin anymore. We don't want to be in these bodies. We don't want our women just being just demons and disrespectful. All right? We want this place turned right side up in its natural order. We want everything to be back in order.
What father or man doesn't want to have a family? You know? They put that shit on television. You know, and like, I was watching Columbo earlier. Like a lot of old movies and things, shows. Matter of fact, no, it's Highway to Heaven. But it was one episode that I watched. The dude, he won all this money because he was trying to feed the children. He got all his money. As soon as he won it, the woman came right in. Right. As soon as he won, he was like, yo, I'm going to give the money to, I guess it was boys and girls little situation. You know, like an orphanage. As soon as he saw the money, she started trying to, buy this, buy that. It was everything, all the focus was taken off of what his goal was. Which shows you, like, even back then, they knew. Esau is a crafty motherfucker going from the radio to the television. It started with the radio, and they seen what world of words. They seen how they could do things with that. Now they give you a visual. Now they really got you. That's what my grandmother always told me. Be careful what your eyes may see. Be careful what your ears may hear, man. That's real shit. Because this place is fucking crazy, man. Every time you open your eyes, you see bullshit. This place is bullshit, man. It's about a bunch of idols, man. You want to be something in society, you gotta serve an idol, man. In some form, type of way. You gotta serve that.
The book of Romans chapter 10, verse number 5, it says, for Moses described the righteousness which is of the law, that the man which doeth those things shall live by them.
That's right. So the man which doeth those things shall live by them. You gotta have some type of guidelines in your life. And the Lord knew that you wasn't going to be able to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments and guidelines to the T. But if that was so, you would be able to put a rainbow god of death or one, you know, which it's a woman that just passed away when I just found out about it. When I first started learning the truth from her, well, actually when I started coming to a camp, and she was on that Lisa Lesbo shit. You know, she had a whole female type joint. At the time, a woman looked like Biggie Smalls. I already joked. I was like, yo, you fucking notorious B.I.G. But now you died because of whatever type of sickness that you had. And the Lord did that, man, because of your lifestyle. That's how serious this thing is. And the Lord is the only one that can torment you like that. You shoot a nigga and kill him, bomb, that's easy. The Lord, that's why we wait on him, because he is the one that can frustrate the shit out of you. Punish you for a lifetime, for an eternity, man.
That's worse than death. But the righteousness which is of faith, speaking on this wise, say not in thine heart, who shall ascend into heaven? That is to bring Hamashiach down from above. Or who shall descend into the deep? That is to bring up Hamashiach again from the dead. But what saith it? The word is nigh. The word is nigh thee, even in thy mouth and in thy heart. That is the word of faith which we preach, that if thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord Yahushua, and shalt believe in thine heart that God hath raised him up, that Yahweh hath raised him up from the dead, thou shalt be saved.
Y'all would know those people in Christian churches, they call on Jesus. So they don't believe. They have no clue about stuff. So they're not going to be saved. They already saved in their mind. This is not the Christian church. This is the truth. Come out here week in and week out and through the weeks, doing videos, prophesy about the downfall of this place. Any man that's thriving in this place, just like Egypt and all that, they still want to survive and thrive through the money. We don't need the money. The money we got is in the book. Because what's your money going to do? What you going to do with a $20 bill on a charity? Try to get that to an angel. 100. You could have $1 million, $1 billion. Yo, just let me get on this charity, please. I got $1 billion. The fuck out of here, nigga. That's why Yahweh Shah said, render the season, which is season. Because their faces is on it, right? You don't even understand what the Lord has for you. Not this bullshit, this system, where he set it up. You know? He set this system up. Just like many systems before this, they came and they fell, man. Likewise with this one.
Verse 9, that if thou shalt confess with thy mouth, Lord Yahweh Shah, and shalt believe in thine heart.
See that? And that's what church tell you. Just confess. Lord, Jesus. You know, man, get the fuck out of here. The Lord chose you as a nation. You ain't choose the Lord. He chose his 144,000 men. And his 2/3, which is a multitude, man. You can't even number it. That's what John the Revelator saw, man. You know? But they tell, and this how they fool you in the church. You confess. Yo, we're confessing that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Yahweh Chakam Das is dead. That's what you really confessing. And he still don't got to deal with it. That's how real it is, man. We pray and we hope that he deals with us. We hope that he saves us, man. Because we're not saved. We are not saved. We're under enemy lines, and the gun is about to start shooting crazy.
You shall believe in thine heart that God Yahweh have raised him up from the dead, thou shalt be saved.
Yeah, but you gotta believe that Yahweh raised up Yahweh from the dead. He was dead. Yo, in this lifetime, how many mother effers you know that died and raised back up? That's the miracle. And that's the believer. That's the believer. That's the understanding. And every man ain't going to die on this planet. Believe that.
Verse 10 it says, for with the heart man believeth unto righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation. For the scripture said, whosoever believeth on him shall not be ashamed. But there is no difference between the Jew and the Greek.
Believers on him shall not be ashamed. And I don't care who say what. Because laugh now, problem. You got all your fun, your games and everything. And it's only for what a season time. A certain moment, man. Just like a rapper when they get the song and everything, you got a certain amount of time to hot performing, then you get crowd base. Then you're not mainstream no more. Because that's what you wanted, that crowd base, man. We want the crowd base for all Israel. Through him. Because he got it. And he said he's going to give it to his men. You know? That's the significance and the value and the gift of having patience. There's a lot of people who don't have patience. A lot of people can't suffer. But in your hard times, you're gonna fucking get up.
It says, for the same Lord over all is rich unto all that call upon him. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved.
That's talking about the elect. They're the only ones that got the name that believe in him, trusting him. You got a lot of men, yo, look at Nate. Those guys, man. Nah, man. If you fall for them shenanigans, man, and yo, he got a lot of blood on his hand. With the men that come around, trying to, and then you got cameras on you and all that. You a fucking cop. You a cop, bro. And you a bitch ass nigga. Because why you gotta record your own? If you teach the truth, and you know, like, in the ancient times, when the proper smoke was started, started riots. Now these dudes, like, when we come out here, and this is the difference between us and them. Between the apostles and those men. Between the men of the Lord and those guys. The righteous scribes and Pharisees between the wicked scribes and Pharisees. Because you're going around to public places. You like a fucking bullet with a Bible. And look, these people, they're sitting there drinking and enjoying themselves or whatever. Who the fuck is you to come in there to try to go, I'm going to give you the Bible, brother, and then they're not trying to hear that. That's
Why would you go in a place where people are drinking?
Come on.
Got a bunch of spirits on them.
Come on now.
You don't.
Come on now. That's why you come out here. Where we at? Yo, if you prophesy to the wind. This is about the elect. The elect is going to get it. Every other man is going to be blinded. And that's how you know that they're trying to heap onto themselves people that pay tithes and things of that nature, man. They wicked as hell, man. They wicked. And guess what? The Lord is going to do it.
Book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
Right, outside school. Every day that we press on is getting closer and closer to what's going to be mandatory. Now you got what, the digital IDs? You know? Now you gotta have to have a digital ID to get in the church. That's Second Ezra's I think the 16th chapter. They ain't gonna be able, if you want to desire to hear another man's word, you better see it. You can't. That's coming.
Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture.
What it says is poured out without mixture. So there ain't no watered down drink. You getting it straight on 151, bro. With the fire on it. Take that. No dip.
It says, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture, into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, and the smoke of their torment.
Yo, just imagine going down to a Phillies game now, or to an Eagles game, or even to a Sixers game, or to a Flyers game. Imagine being in an arena and seeing all those people playing on the courts or whatever. Just imagine those being the people getting burnt the fuck up. And you're one of those people watching the presence of the angels. And the presence of him, he's going to watch it. He's going to laugh at them. That pleases him. It pleases him to wipe out wickedness. It pleases him to have righteousness. It doesn't please him. He don't want to do that to his people. But he's a man of his word, so when he speaks it, it has to be done. And that's what we have to learn. When you speak something, you have to stand on it. You can't turn back from that, man. That's why you gotta watch what you say. Watch what you do, man. You know, because you gotta count.
It says, when the smoke of their torment is sent up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast of his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name.
So whoever receives that mark, which we're telling you, and yo, the Neuralink just got I think they just made it done. The FDA just
Prove it.
yeah, so that's what in your forehead or in your hand, man. That's prophecy running from the future. That's the last prophecy, the most major one that we're waiting for. So Lord is willing, this comes edifying, got some out of it. So with that, we're going to walk with Yahusha, Ba'ashim, Rakadash, the one is the apostle, that was a distance made millstone, so I'm going to see you later. So next week, we're going to see the Waffle
Waffle Baba.
Bomb that shit.
Come here.